Hello, welcome to Brown Dog Gadgets Live. I'm Amanda, the Education Outreach Coordinator here at Brown Dog Gadgets. Behind the camera, I've got Pete.
I'm right here.
Thanks, Pete. Today we are going to be building a dancing snowman. But before we get into that, if you have not followed us on our social media platforms, please do so. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, X, and YouTube. Also, if you like the templates that you're seeing today, you can get those for free on browndoggadgets.com. Also, any products that we have are also available at browndoggadgets.com. And then if you're following us live, we would love for you to comment or chat with us, ask any questions you may have. Also, after we are done, if you have any questions, feel free to email us at help@browndoggadgets.com.
Cool.
All right. So today we are going to be making this little guy. He's got two switches built into him, so he's got a blinking nose, and he vibrates.
Wow.
He dances.
Okay.
And if we switch to the overhead cam,
Let's do that.
you're going to see that this guy does it like a tight circle today. Like,
He's moving.
I know.
He's going to get
He
dizzy.
goes quickly.
He's going to get dizzy for sure.
We've got two switches built into this, so you can turn them on and off.
Yeah.
You can pick which one you're turning on and off. And then the battery is not controlling both things. We've got a separate battery for each component. That is important in a project like this because otherwise this little guy will not blink. The vibrating motor will go and do a great job, and the blinking LED just won't have enough power.
No
Tomorrow, if you join us for our robot vacuum, you will see that in action using one battery for two components.
Kind of works still.
I also realized literally 20 minutes ago that my snowman looks great from the front, but if you turn him, his scarf disappears. There's this whole line for a scarf here that I did not color.
It's a shame.
Oh well, whatever. He's cute. All right. The snowman template looks like this. Kind of hard to see. That's all right.
I can see it.
Well,
I'm looking
like
at a
that,
monitor.
That was, there we go, that's better. So you have 4 different pieces to build these 2 cubes. So the 2 larger pieces are the bottom cube, the 2 smaller pieces are the top cube. You've got your 2 switches to engage both of those circuits, as well as the arms. It's actually compared to some of our other templates, this is a really easy cutting job, except for like right here in the glove. But let's be real, you don't need to cut that precisely. It's just a bunch of straight lines, which is really nice. So it's really easy to cut out. I do suggest coloring it before you cut it out, and make sure you're printing on heavier cardstock. For this to work, you really do need it to be able to stand up to the circuitry. The nice thing with the snowman is there's not a whole lot to color.
Right.
Unless you have a snowman that's using some old snow.
I mean, you can color snow any color you want.
It's true.
Mostly white, usually. It's some dark, kind of dirty gray and snow.
So I've cut my pieces and colored them. So we've got the different parts. We've got our 2 switches and our arms.
Ooh, matching scarf and mittens.
Well, yeah,
All right.
we have to match. I mean, this guy matches too.
Okay.
He's got blue and polka dots.
That's impressive.
This is pink with stripes.
Yeah.
Come on now. What we do suggest before actually putting anything on is making sure that you also score these lines. So what I did beforehand is I took a straight ruler and I took my X-Acto knife and I just went very gently along that line just to make sure that I'm just cutting the surface so it will fold very cleanly later. All right, we're gonna start with the head. This project, as of right now, this moment at 3:34 in Wisconsin on February 18th, 2025, does not have a template on the back. Okay. However, Andy's working on that. So,
Was it supposed to?
well, it doesn't have a template for where the paths go, and we do that for so many things
Yeah, that's weird.
that it doesn't have to. However, the exact same project with the cube bot does have paths on it.
Oh,
So
well,
Andy's going to update the
I probably
the
screwed that
document.
up because I made this.
Oh, well, Andy's already got the paths
Yeah,
on
cool.
for
That's
the
cool.
cube bot. So
Great.
he's just going to cut and paste them over. So if you get it after Andy actually fixes that, then you'll have the pathways. Or, who knows, since Pete made it, he might just beat Andy to the punch. There's a strong chance.
No, it's all her. All his.
Because there's the document that goes along with it,
Yeah.
but it's
I
not
wonder,
printed, a double-sided print.
Yeah, that's weird. I know Josh asked me to do this for some teacher wanted it, I think, and he said, "Hey, just take the robot and make it a snowman."
Yeah, it's a
I
great
don't know.
project.
Maybe we missed that part for some reason.
That's all right.
Cool.
So that should be updated in the next, I want to say, couple days, but I don't.
Couple days.
I don't
Okay.
know for sure. Well, I didn't ask you to do it, Pete. All right. So right here we've got our slit. We are going to need to cut this open because this is where we're going to put our little tab to be able to control the circuit. So I am going to actually cut this slit a little bit wider than that black line. It is easier to add tape to your switch and make your switch larger than it is to make this slit bigger later if it's not wide enough. So I'm just going to make that spot nice and clean. And I might as well do the one on the lower part as well while I'm at it.
While you're doing that,
Uh-huh.
while you're doing that, we did get a question from Instagram, I guess.
Ooh.
Are the templates available? So I gave them the link, and yeah, all our templates are right there on learn.browndoggadgets.com.
And what I really appreciate with what Josh has done in our company is that you don't have to sign in, make an account and sign in to get them, or they're not behind a paywall. You literally just go to the site, find the project. You can actually now, when you go to learn.browndoggadgets.com, you'll see all the different folders. You can go to Holiday Crafts. It's a new folder for us. Holiday Crafts, and there is a Winter Crafts folder. And this guy is in there.
Yeah, and if you see a project on the stream, like as we say we're doing Dancing Snowman, just go there and search for it. It's also probably the easiest, quickest way to find something if you know the name of it.
And typically when we're doing streams, we also have links associated
in
with
like the
the stream
YouTube
too.
version. Yeah.
Yep. So for the snowman, we're actually going to have the nose blinking. So what I'm going to do is I'm using a safety pin and I'm going to poke 2 holes in the nose for the LED legs. Do not try to do that with the LED legs. They will not work. Or if it does, you will have very mangled LED legs when you're done.
Yeah.
Now, since I don't actually have a circuit diagram on the back right now, I'm gonna just wing it, and that's okay. I am going to, let's go with my long leg to the right. I'll push that all the way through.
I mean, there's your basic, circuit we use over and over again, right?
Absolutely. All right, and then what I'm going to do is I know that I'm gonna need to fold my cube right here, so I don't want to just lay them flat. I'm gonna lay them out and then bend them just to make sure they don't get in the way when I'm folding. Just like that. Now I am going to use Maker Tape to run my circuitry on the inside of this cube. Maker Tape is a nylon conductive tape. It is the far superior cousin to copper foil tape. Copper foil tape is used in a lot of paper circuit projects, but it causes people a lot of frustration when building those projects in the classroom. because it does not consistently work. It tears really easily. You can get copper foil cuts from it. It's just not a good project or a good product to use with children. If adults can't use it consistently and make it work consistently, you don't want to use it with kids. So Maker Tape is something we came up with. It is so much easier to use. It just makes your life with paper circuits so much easier. If you've never used Maker Tape, Andy said he's going to have the template
tomorrow
updated in a day.
Nice.
I just told him when he got a chance, so he's up in the game here.
You tell him you need it right away. It's important. It's on the stream.
It is on the stream, but they could always watch too.
Yes.
If you've never used Maker Tape before, we highly suggest you jump on over to browndoggadgets.com and request yourself a free sampler pack. This sampler pack has a 5-meter roll of Maker Tape. It comes on a nice handy holder, and it has 5 different projects in here that you can build. This is actually the CubeBot. So you can't build the CubeBot with the sampler pack, but that does come with our Paper Circuits Kit, and it is the exact same project except different artwork, and the LED is moved to the front for it. So really cool stuff. But yeah, you can check out this free sampler pack and get your own. If you have rolls of Maker Tape and you want these holders and you have a 3D printer, we have the printable files up on our website for free, so you can grab those files and print off your own holder for the 5-meter roll. We've got the holder for the 20-meter roll. We've got a battery holder. One of these days I'll fill this one back up.
Right.
You can even make a giant battery holder.
You don't even need a 3D printer. You just need to know someone who has one.
It's true.
Because there's a 90% chance if you say, hey, can you print something for me? They're going to be like, oh, yeah, of course. What do you need?
Yeah. That's what I asked Pete. Pete, can you print me this? Oh, yeah. Got it.
Love it. I love to. I love to print. I'm a printmaker.
All right, so when you're using the Maker Tape, you're going to hold it about 1 centimeter away from the top with the silver side facing you. And you're going to use the pad of your finger to pull it down towards you. And it's going to then stick to your finger and pull off that backing pretty easily. I say really easily because it works really easily for me, but it takes a little practice.
You've done it more than anyone else at this point.
I think that may be factual.
Yeah.
Also, if you want to build this project, you can go over to Brown Dog Gadgets and get the Origami Circuits Kit. It actually has the blinking LEDs, the vibrating peel and stick motors that we're going to use. It has Maker Tape as well as batteries. So it's just a nice handy way to make this project and just get one product that will help you build it. And you can actually see in there that you could build the CubeBot as well, because I do believe we send the cards with that.
And you can make a penguin with a top hat, it looks like.
It's true. It is true.
Cool.
I do need to make that guy. Isn't he just like the Jumpy the Frog guy?
I don't know. I don't even know what that one is.
Really?
The penguin one?
Shivers the penguin, I think.
Shivers.
I'm pretty sure.
Oh yeah, no, you're right.
Thank you.
I've never made that one. So.
That's fair. Since I'm going to be sealing this cube up, I'm going to do what we call the sandwich method with my LED just to make sure it's nice and secure. I'm going to put a piece of tape underneath my LED leg and then another piece over the top just to make sure it makes a solid connection, because I do not want to have to pull apart my cube to fix my tape paths if for some reason they're not making the connection I need.
Right.
All right, now I'm going to take a nice long piece of tape and I'm going to feed it through my slit. And I'm only putting a little bit through, and you'll see that I've got this little tab here. I'm going to fold that back on itself. So I'm keeping that slit open still, but then that's where my switch will go to complete my circuit when I want it to. And this was my long LED leg, which is the positive leg. So this is my negative leg, which needs to lead to the negative side of the battery. Like I said, I'm going to have a battery in both cubes, so one for each component, just to make sure they're not fighting with each other for that power, like they will tomorrow in the project I'm doing tomorrow.
Yeah. There's too much fighting over power around here.
Oh, it's so much. It's so true. All right, and I am, let's see. Also, when I am putting the tape over that LED leg, I'm gonna make sure to run my nail along the edges of that leg just to give it a really solid connection.
Dave sent me showed me a photo today where a teacher did the sandwich method, but for the top piece of tape they used clear tape.
Oh.
We don't know why, but that was not a good idea.
Interesting.
So yeah, I told him, like, email them back and say just add a little piece of maker tape on there. Huh. I think they had been using copper foil tape, so maybe that might be
so they were so used to holding it down.
Possibly, yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. All right, so I've got my two paths here right now. I've got about 1 inch worth of tape. What I'm going to do is make a tape loop. So just like you would on the back of a poster, I'm going to take this 1 inch of tape and roll it up with the sticky side out. I didn't put lotion on my hands today, so while that worked really well. With the sticky side out, and I'm going to put it right on top of this pathway. There we go. And then I'm going to take my CR2032 battery and place it right on top of that tape loop. So the negative side of the battery is leading to the negative LED leg, or the short LED leg. Then to finish up this circuit, I'm going to do the other side of this slit. So same thing, I'm going to push it through the slit. And I pushed it down on the back side. And this piece is a little long, and guess what? I can just cut it. Easy. You'll notice that, let's see if I can show that really well. Those two pieces of maker tape are not touching. There is a gap there. That is really important. If those two pieces of tape are touching, you will have your project just be on all the time, which, I mean, is fine, but you're not going to be able to access the battery. I'm just going to put that piece there because it was on my finger. So you do want that slit to be there to make sure that you can turn your project on and off. And then I'm going to take a piece of tape on that pathway and up to the positive side of the battery. Now, before I close this up, I want to test it out. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use the silver side and I'm going to bridge that gap and check it out. And I can see that my LED is blinking, so I know that when I put that switch into that slit, it will work, but I also know that when it's not engaged, it will turn off and I won't waste my battery. So that half is done. And then we'll build it up. Like I said, I already scored these lines, so they're really easy to fold. It just comes together quickly. And then we've got the other half of it. Remember, it's the small one.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to take these two halves and basically just put them together to make a cube and hold it together with clear tape. Now, you can be really particular like me and care what tape you use, or you can just use Scotch tape, that's fine. This Scotch tape has a little bit of cloudiness to it. I notice when something is like printed in color, I can see it more.
Yeah.
If it's not printed in color, it doesn't necessarily matter. I like to use the gift wrap Scotch tape because it's got a little bit more, it's more translucent. And so you're just going to match those edges up. Lay the tape down on one edge. And the first couple can be a little tricky because you gotta kind of hold it in place once you get a few going though. And it likes to work a little bit better. And you're just gonna go around all the sides of that cube. and tape them down. And I'm not going to make you watch all of this, I promise.
I can speed it up in post.
Yeah, that doesn't help for the people that are watching right now.
Faster.
It's like the short reel that I made.
I can show you this. Look at that.
Oh.
I saved that one.
I know. So I would also like tape these down. I'm not going to make you wait and watch that.
Okay.
But there is my snowman's head. And now we're going to create the body. The body is where I'm going to put the vibrating motor. So we've got a slit for this one as well. I have a peel and stick vibrating motor. So it has a little bit, if you've ever used motors like this, you will notice on ours the exposed wire is a little bit more. That is on purpose because we felt like it just needed like a bigger landing pad to connect with. And Josh has said, I have not tried, but Josh has said stripping these wires, typically you just kind of ruin it.
Josh isn't good at stripping wires.
Well, that might be the case.
No, it does take some skill. So like if you've done a lot of wire stripping, various gauges, you can do it. But if you're first timer, yeah, it's not easy to do without wrecking it or ruining the wire.
And I'm going to do the same thing that I did with the LED, especially because these wires are pretty small. So I'm going to give them a little bit of a landing pad and do that sandwich method again, just to make sure I have a good connection and I don't have to cut my project open to figure out why it's not working.
I like that you used the word pad because on a circuit board it would be called a solder pad.
Hey.
Soldering a wire down to it.
Look at me using words that, I didn't know had any connection.
Yeah.
We talked about polarity with the LED and how we had to make sure that the negative LED leg was leading to the negative side of the battery. With our motor, we do not have to pay attention to that. There is a negative and positive wire. However, with the motor, it just changes the direction of the spin. And with this kind of motor, you also don't notice that at all. Trust me, I've tested. So we're doing the same thing, putting the tape into the slit with a little bit on the front and pulling back. I made that one way too long, but guess what? It doesn't matter. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. And I'm not going to attach that wire yet. That one's going to lead to the positive side of the battery. So same thing to keep my battery in place. Going to use about 1 inch worth of maker tape, roll it up with the sticky side out, and put it right on top of that pathway. Take my battery and lay it right on top. Now the great thing is that I don't need a whole new pathway. I just need to make sure that this wire connects with the top side of the battery. And I'm going to hold it in place using a piece of maker tape. There it is.
Right.
Now it's not vibrating right now because we have that gap in the circuit. But like I said before, I want to test that out just to make sure. So sticky side, bridging that gap. And it does vibrate, so we are good to go. All right, I'm gonna get this all folded up. And don't worry, I won't do all of the tape paths, I promise. I'll do them later.
Yeah.
Because I have to make it look pretty. All right, then for this one, just making sure that my scarf is on the same side. I don't know if I could do it wrong though. Maybe.
I think I usually try to tape one like without even closing it yet, and then
Oh.
kind of use that to close it out. My method.
I like it. I'm not going to do it, but I like
Yeah,
it.
once you get that first one, I mean, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. One holds it all together. You can kind of go from there.
Yep. We do recommend projects like this that you do with 4th grade and up, mainly based on the dexterity. And even projects like this definitely would be great for middle school or even high school. I think they'd enjoy it.
Yeah.
I also didn't teach high school though, so who knows? I can be picky sometimes.
I only taught college kids and other random people who came to classes I did that weren't in schools.
All right. All right, and I'll finish taping up my little pathways after. We do also have 2 smaller random slits, one on each side of the body. Those are to put your arms into. So all you do is slide it into that slit. You can leave it just like that, or you can even take a little piece of tape and just kind of tape it down at the top. So it still is free and can flap away, but it won't escape your project. It won't run away from you.
And you can color both sides of the arms if you
That is
and the
true.
mittens, if you really want to get crazy.
So there's the body. So we've got our body, we've got our head. To connect them, all I'm going to do is take a piece of tape, make a tape loop, and stick the head on. Bam. It's a little crooked. Great thing is it's just tape, I can move it. And these edges are driving me nuts. So I will be taping those up when I'm done. I don't even know where it's going to go, but it will get taped. It will happen. All right, then the last thing we need to do to have our robot be able to move is make those switches. So on the template, we've got these 2 rectangles. If for some reason you lose them, just cut a piece of cardstock and you'll be fine. All right, I'm going to fold it over once the long way and once the short way. So I make a little L. And then I'm going to use maker tape, but only on half of it. I'm going to keep one half blank so I can actually put it in the slit like for safekeeping and not have it actually activate. And I'm wrapping it around both sides to make sure that I have a complete circuit once I insert it into the slit. And you can be really picky and do 2 pieces so it actually goes the length of it. That's up to you. You can put it in the middle, you know, things that make more sense than what I did. And then we'll do one on this one as well. There we go. So now, when I insert them into gaps in the back, my project should light up. It's like this tight breakdance circle, and I really appreciate
going.
it.
We should do one with the motor in the head so it can do a head spin.
Ooh, I like it. If you put your switch into that slit and it does not bridge that gap, let's say you tested it earlier, it worked perfectly fine, but when you put that in, your gap was too large, just add a couple more pieces of maker tape right over the top of this, and it will work perfectly fine. That is our dancing snowman.
Cool.
He's gonna have a partner. There we go.
Ooh, can I show you something?
Yes.
This is let me see if I can get it. On this one,
Yeah.
I made it so there's a little floppy disk, and when you put it in the disk drive, it turns on the computer.
I haven't actually built that one. I love that.
This was one of my super early ones, and I was like, oh yeah,
That's
the
awesome.
Switch is a boot drive. Whatever.
Yep.
That was a fun one.
I love it. Awesome. Like we said, if you want to build these, the templates are free on our website. You can find those at browndoggadgets.com. Also, if you want just a nice, easy kit to be able to build it with, we recommend the Origami Circuits Kit. It has the 5mm blinking LED, as well as the vibrating motor, the maker tape, and batteries. So it's got everything you need, and then you just print off the actual template. Also, if you have not followed us on all of our social media platforms, please do not forget to do so. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, X, and YouTube. We also have a ton of YouTube lives that we've been putting out, so please go check some of those old ones out. We've got some great stuff. And then, what else? Tomorrow we are doing our robot vacuum.
Oh, yeah.
That one is a cute one. It's got a little cat sitting on top of the robot vacuum. I'm excited for that one. And then you can see the difference in having 2 power sources for each of the components versus 1. And then Thursday, Pete.
Yeah.
Thursday,
what's going on?
we are going to start talking about microbit. So
yeah.
every Thursday going forward for now is going to be microbit basics. This Thursday we are going to be talking about connecting LEDs to the microbit. So we would love for you to join us for those. After this, I'm definitely going to tape this guy up because it's bugging me.
Tape it up.
Yep, it's going to happen. We hope you'll join us tomorrow. Have a great night, and we'll see you then.